Okay, so now we're going to begin to add some imagery as backdrops to our designs. And I went to Elements and I went to Free Photos and I scrolled down until I found the photo that I want. I did this in advance to save us some time. So I'm going to click on this, and when I do so, it adds it to the canvas. And it's thinking for a moment, but I can drag it around. Oops, accidentally added two. I'm going to delete that. So I can drag it around by selecting it. I can also make it bigger. So if I hold down the Shift key, contrary to other design programs, if you hold down Shift, it's going to distort the image. So I'm going to Control Z to undo that. If I just drag it, it's going to keep it proportional in Canva. So I'm going to make this really big, and I'm going to make it go outside of our canvas. And again, it's acting just a little bit slow right now. And let's scroll up and continue to make this even bigger. And that's how that one goes. So that's our first image, and I'm going to drag it until I get it just the way I want. I want this all the way over to the far left, and for now we'll keep it just like that. Now I want to add the other images as well, because we're going to be building upon these, so I'm going to show you these all kind of step by step. So I'm going to go to Uploads because there are two images that I uploaded, this one, and all you have to do to upload your own image is click the button here, and then you can go to wherever your images are included, select them, and then it will show up here. So again, I already have this image, but I'll show you as an example. This is a stock image that I found, and I'm just uploading it again. The other thing that's really nice is that Canva does accept PNG. So this is a really old logo of mine, and if I select that, it's going to add it, and you see it's a PNG. It's clear. I can add it over my image. So if you have your own logo already designed, you can upload that directly into Canva for branding, which is awesome. Okay, so the next image I'm going to add is I'm going to add a new page by clicking that button there. And for some reason it duplicated that, but we don't need that. So I'm going to select this image, I'm going to delete it, and I am going to click this strawberry icon, or I guess this lychee fruit icon. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag it out, not holding the Shift key, and have it fit the frame the way I like. There we go. And we'll drag it out a little bit more. And then the last image we need to add, which is on canvas 2. I'm going to select this canvas by clicking on it with my mouse and then hit this image so that this loads on that particular page. And you see, this is a stock image. This is not an image I own. So I'm very aware that it has these little watermarks, but this is just for tutorial purposes. And there I go, hitting Shift again. Do not hit Shift. Just drag it out and continue to drag it out until you get the size and everything that you want. And drag it out just a little bit more. And we're going to get her as far left as possible. So to go back, this is what we are trying to create. Okay. So the next element that we need to create are these ellipses, because her brand concept was circular, and with circular we can do any kind of shapes that have curves. So I'm going to go up to Elements, and I'm going to hit this X because we're in Free Photos right now. And let me hit that again. So now we're going to go to Shapes. And with Canva, again, if you hit Shift, it won't distort a shape. So if I hit circle, if I hold down the Shift key, it's not going to distort it. It's going to keep it to proportion. If I don't hold down the Shift key, it's still going to keep it to proportion. So if I want an oval shape, I have to scroll down until I find an oval shape, which is more towards the end. So as I'm scrolling down, you can see the different kind of shapes that they offer. These are outlines. So if you wanted an outline, you can do that, like our logo. These are fills with outlines. But we're going to keep scrolling down and let this keep loading until we find, here we go, we want this oval shape. So I'm going to click it to select it, and it automatically fills in a color. And just for reference, the color we want to use first is going to be white. Okay, so I am going to rotate this, and if you can see that there, it shows me the degrees I'm rotating. So I want 90 degrees. And for this one, I'm going to make it white. So if I click on the color, I'm going to scroll down and I see white here. And we're going to go to transparency. Oops, transparency. And we're going to make this a little transparent. Let's go with 80 for now. And I'm going to drag this out and just keep dragging it out and dragging it out. Okay, till we have an image like this. And you'll see if I go back, that's how we create this border here. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to copy it by either hitting Command or Control C and paste, or you can go up here and hit copy. And I'm going to keep the transparency, I'm going to keep it at 80, but we are going to go up here and select the color and make this that navy color. So as you see, it's still transparent. You can see underneath it. And I am going to center it. And I might want that a little more transparent actually. So let's adjust that. Let's make that, that's good. That's good. Okay, and I'll click out of it. So now we have the basics for that. Now the last thing I want to create is another shape. I want some transparency over this image so that everything is kind of in the same light. So we're going to scroll up until we find a square. And here's a square. Select that, and we are going to adjust the transparency. Let's make it 80, and we're going to make this one, what did we have over here? We're going to make it one of our brand colors just to give it a little fun. We are going to make it this nice aqua color. Now you see this aqua color is above our blue and our white. So to get it down, we're going to select Arrange, and we are going to step it back and back until it's behind it, and then we're going to drag it out. And that is how you create that shape. So for the other images, just to save some time, and again, let's make this one a little more transparent. Oh, I guess it's fine the way it is. What you would do for the other images is you would just copy this. So we're going to copy these two shapes. So I'm going to hold the Shift key, select them both, and then I'm going to hit copy. And it copies them, and I'm going to drag them down until I see this kind of greenish aqua box emerge. And hold on, having a little trouble with that. They're still selected, so there we go. And you see I'm just copying that there, and I can place it anywhere that I want. And we're going to do the same, but for the next one, actually, let's drag this one down here. We're going to select both again by holding the Shift key, and we're going to drag it down to the lychees. Keep dragging, okay, until that pops out there, because I like that lychee color. I don't want a background behind it. And then for the second canvas, we're going to select all three of these, so the square shape and the two ellipses, or the two circular shapes here. So we're going to select, copy, and we're going to drag this over here. And we're going to wait for Canva to catch up with us. There we go. And we'll drag it up until we get it how we want it. And really, actually, we could do it that way. That's a fun little twist to it. Looks pretty cool. So to go back to our original, let's see. So for this one, we decided to use that same green, but we changed this to one of our pink colors in our brand. So we'll go up here and select that. And then for the other one, we did that purple color that we added. So we'll change this to our purple. Now the last thing that we have to do is add our text. So I can go up here and I can select both of these, and I can hit group. So if you go over here to group, it's going to combine it to one image, but you can always ungroup it. So I'm going to leave it as a group, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to move it down to this canvas. And you see there's that aqua turquoise box I was talking about. And I'm going to make this smaller. This is going to be like the nameplate for our brand. Now I want to change the colors. I want to make this white, so I'm going to ungroup it. I can also hit Command or Control G to ungroup it. And I'm going to select the font, and I'm going to scroll down and make this white. And then I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to make this white. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to copy this text, single in the kitchen. So I copy it, and I'm going to drag this down to our other canvases. So let's say for this one, actually first let's adjust this a little bit. We're going to center this a little more, and then select our text again, which is going to serve as our kind of alternate logo, just the text version. And I'm going to put it down here. Now I'm going to do Command Copy. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to click somewhere on this canvas so it knows where I want it to go. And I'm going to hit Control V. And it did not work that time. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use their copy, because sometimes the commands work with the fonts and sometimes they don't. Alright, and we're going to drag that down there, and it's telling me how it lines up with the other image, which is nice. Okay, so now we have the logos on each of them. Now the last thing we have to do for this one, we can just copy, and let's see if it'll let us do a Command V. Yes, it will. And let's go ahead and change this to white. Okay. So there's that. We'll line it up a little bit. So that's how you create that one. And then we're going to copy that again, and we're going to move it over onto this one. And for this one, I think I did something like single. We're going to do lowercase just to add some variety. Single, taken, hungry, just to go along with their brandy. This is something that I found online, a quote, when I looked up food quotes. And we are going to actually, we're going to left justify this, and we're going to make it go this way, and then we're also going to make this much bigger. And we're going to drag this out so that our text fits fully on one. And let's actually make this a little bit bigger. Let's see what 88 will do for us. Okay, a little bit bigger. Drag it over, and then we're going to change this also to white. Because a tip I want to mention, try when you're having a lot of color in these images like we are, really try to keep your text all one color. You see we have a lot of colors going on, so really then keep your text simple and keep it all one color when you have a lot of other colors going on. Now, one thing I want to show you how to do is how to get a little creative. So we're not going to create this one because this is just adding the same text, and we just made this in a bold typeface. So if I click on it, it's the Oswald, and we just made it in a bold typeface, and that's how it looks like that. But I am going to show you how to make these little check boxes. So if we go back, it's really simple. All we're going to do is we're going to scroll down in our shapes until we find this outline shape of a circle. So I'm going to select it, and I am going to drag it to make it smaller, and we're going to move it over here, fix that again, and we're going to make this a white color. So I believe there's some with some thicker values that you can create to have like a thicker outline, but this one, we're just going to work with this for now. And then to create the check mark, all you're going to do is create two shapes. So we're going to scroll up to where there's Let's see if it'll let us use the rectangle, or the square, excuse me. So we are going to make this a rectangle. And we're going to make it white. And we're going to continue to make it smaller. And you can actually zoom in, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe that's a little too far. Got a little trigger happy. Okay. We'll zoom in just a little bit more, one more. And scroll down to the canvas we're working on. We're going to make this thinner. And then we are going to rotate this and rotate it a little more, and then we're going to copy it. And then with this copied version, we're also going to rotate it in the opposite direction. And then we're going to make this, truncate it, make it a little shorter, and we're going to add them together. And if you select them both at the same time, we can group them, and that's how you can make a check mark. And then you can select this, and if you wanted to, you can group this. And then we're going to just copy it for single and hungry, and then what we can do is copy it again. Oops, let's delete that one. Okay, we will copy this again by selecting it, and we're gonna, ooh, it only did that one. What we want to get is that circle, so we're going to just copy that circle and then line it up with the first one. And then all we would need to do for the last one is line it up, and that's how you can create a make do checkbox. So these are the images we just created. Again, these are the versions I made, and I just showed you how to make them on your own. So I really hope that was helpful, and I wish you guys all the best of luck with whatever graphics that you do create in Canva. Please post them on Instagram and tag me _Yuri Gibson so I can see your designs. I would love to see what you create, and I will see you guys later.